going back in time to 2008.
Ooh.
But first, a message from our sponsors. Shoot, an ad break for BARKBOX? Yeah, and no more, I can do that. Check this out. BARKBOX is a monthly subscription service providing dog products, services, and experiences. Bark services over 1 million dogs monthly through BARKBOX and Super Chewer subscriptions and retail distribution. Check out BARKBOX now. Exclusive link in description below. Yeah, no, I think I nailed it. We're talking about Twilight.
Yeah.
It's gonna be horrible. It was a bad movie.
It was up there, yeah.
Where do we start?
Well, I guess we could start with what Twilight, this movie, is. It's an adaptation of a book, and it's also the beginning of a series of adaptations of a book series.
Yeah.
The Twilight Saga.
Yeah.
So this is Twilight, the first book, and also the first movie. This is the intro to the teenage vampire craze that was my middle school and high school career.
It is bad.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It seems like young girls could probably get into it, but again, I feel like this is this gaslights the audience into being down for a really bad boyfriend. This is the most abusive male lead I've ever seen written into anything. It's horrible. It's a horrible film.
It's all about this couple, human girl, who just so happens to be this pale girl from Phoenix, Arizona.
I want to start in Arizona because they managed to, in this film, depict Arizona as if has a fog over it, which does not happen here.
No, it's very clear out here.
They put so much. They had to like quadruple the blue filter to get it to match the rest of the film. And you can tell in the Arizona film.
There's a whole
or the Arizona scene
problem.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's bad.
It's about like this just classic teenage girl where it's kind of a POV thing. There's not like a super official description of Bella herself.
See, that's what you had told me, is that in the book, they don't describe the main character at all. It is solely through POV, and this chick doesn't even look in a mirror to describe herself for the audience.
Not until Breaking Dawn Part 2.
How many books deep is that?
That is it's the second half of the fourth book.
That's
that's right. There's 4 books and 5 movies. That's what I was trying to remember.
That's insane.
Yeah. So like the fourth book in general was so thick that she did split it into 2 parts, but it's still one book. But it's pre Bella becoming a vampire and then post Bella becoming a vampire is the second half of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Largely because I think the first half of Breaking Dawn is in Jacob's point of view. There are certain instances where they do switch POV in the book.
I hate it.
Yeah, but it's not till the end because then you have to get Jacob's point of view to understand why he winds up imprinting on the child later. But anyway, so back to Twilight. I'm just giving you guys a taste of the craziness that might actually happen should we watch the rest of these movies later. But
it's horrible. I want to start at okay, so we've explained she came from Arizona. It looks nothing like Arizona. But they definitely shot it in Arizona. The topography is familiar, but they put so much blue filter on this whole film that it's really bizarre. They move into what functionally feels like to me a bottle episode within a school. For a good chunk of the movie.
Yes, and that's accurate though, because in the book, a lot of the time that she sees Edward is at school.
Yeah, the weird thing I noticed about this film was it didn't pick up steam for some reason until the moment when Bella walks into like the science class or whatever, and he looks up and immediately acts like he's smelled just the most disgusting of dog shit.
That's the first real contact that they have with each other.
Like he
That's
looks at me just like,
initial contact that they have with each other.
Bitch, you stink!
Is in the science class where...
And then she chases him. She is drawn in by somebody who the only contact they have when she starts pursuing him is he acts like she smells like shit. Like she smells bad. That's the end. If I met you for the first time and I walk up to you and you're like, oh my God, dude, get the fuck away from me. I'm not coming back. Like, I'm not coming back. I'll probably go take a shower or two, but I'm not coming back. That hurt my feelings, dog. And Edward's a bad person. I don't care if he's afflicted by some kind of...
Oh, it's a lot. Edward's character is a lot. And the crazy part is that once you get old enough to try to go back and reread those, you realize you can't, because you're no longer the age it's intended for.
They make the film made no sense.
Ridiculous.
It's weird how it kept popping out into Bella narrating shit. Mm-hmm. It kept changing narrative structure, it felt like, through that film.
Yeah, and I think that was mainly because they were still trying to relate to some of the book, because there were specific quotes that Bella was narrating that did come from her narration of her own story in the book.
Gotcha.
So those particular moments when she's narrating like that, I think most of those do come from the book. So they were just trying to throw in fucking source material. The shit that Cowboy Bebop did not do.
Gotcha. Gotcha. It must have been, like, you can tell. I've never read the book. I'm going to read a Twilight book.
Oh yeah. So for some reason he agreed to read Midnight Sun, which is basically Twilight in Edward's point of view.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it. I've seen the movie Twilight, so I feel like I got enough of her perspective, I guess. And let's read what happens in the mind of the most abusive piece of shit I've ever seen depicted in young adult fiction. This is for young adults.
Okay, so like we gotta sit here and explain why you think that, though. We still haven't quite gotten into the movie.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm fired up.
Because I want to sit here and talk about prom night, because that's what you're trying to get to.
That's what I'm getting to. We have a lot to get through. No, there's a lot of offenses.
We're still in Phoenix.
Number one, it's hella creepy to me. Well, let's know. We're in school now.
Okay, we're in school now.
She's met Edward.
Okay. So she's already met her new friends.
Getting together.
Which is also a weird little group of teenagers that kind of just bring her in. Like, they almost make her kind of be part of a group.
They're just ripping off Mean Girls.
Yeah, sort of.
She has a tropey group of friends.
And that's where she finds out about Edward, is through this little group of people, because they're like, oh, they're so mysterious but so pretty. And then she meets him in this fucking science class. She smells.
Stankin'.
And
stanks. Smells. It's bad.
Yeah.
According to the way they shot this scene, Bella enters the scene, Edward sees her, immediately smells her, does not like it.
Yeah.
Does not like it.
And then proceeds to spend the entire class period staring at her like this.
Yeah, like he's about to attack her, but not in a sexy way.
Stay away from her, and he's like knuckles white, gripping the table, and
or just like covering his nose. Yeah. Like, I don't want to smell this bitch. Looking away from her all dramatically.
Yeah, and there's a specific moment in the book that they actually bothered to throw into the movie, that Edward is, at this point, I think almost like 300 years old or some shit.
It's gross. I want to talk about that too.
Well, here's what I'm talking about. So and also obviously he's undead, so he is able to conceptualize time in a different way. So he counts second by second in his head until he gets to the end of the class, and he gets up 1 second before the bell rings and is the first one out the door. And they like literally did that in the movie. They specifically tried to do that in the movie. It's just a weird detail that I don't understand why they decided to throw in there. That's why I wanted to talk about it.
I hate the character so much. Yeah. He's so bad. He's so poorly written.
I just wanted to specify that because I remember that happening in the movie, but I couldn't explain it to you then.
I hate it so much. I hate it so much. And then, and again, her just like falling for him. You know?
Yeah.
She ends up going to his house.
Well, here's what winds up happening. The whole reason she even starts getting related with him at all is because she's almost hit by a car. The ice
that's
skidding,
right.
like the Tyler's van, the kid's van skids across the ice and almost crushes her between him and and her truck.
That happened.
And Edward comes over and like stops the van with his hand and like saves her from being killed.
It's like a superhero moment where he's like, no.
It's that moment where
and she's like, the dude that thinks I stink saved me.
Well, it's at that moment that the siblings are pissed. All the vampire siblings are pissed.
You let that smelly bitch see your powers?
Well, yeah, they're like, why the fuck did you save her? Like, now we might be, like, found out.
We let stinky bitches die all the time.
And one of the sisters has always been super hateful about Bella in particular, and her story comes in way later. But yeah, so then she just persistently, after his dad, who happens to be one of the doctors at the hospital, a vampire working at a hospital, is Carlisle Cullen, treating her and shit, and then like just Bella is persistent trying to speak to him. And then he's just like, fuck it, I guess I'm just gonna scare the fuck out of you.
It's hella creepy, the living arrangement that they have.
The vampires.
Yes! They're all adults.
They're vegetarian vampires.
And it's so lame. It's so lame. It's so bad. That's not vampires at all. I don't like the living situation. Their house situation's creepy. But I want to talk about the most suspect shit I've ever seen a leading man have in his house. Oh. And that's a wall of caps and gowns.
A wall of graduation caps.
A wall of graduation caps and lanyards and shit.
All of the graduation caps that each of them have gotten.
It's so fucking creepy.
Yeah. It's
so fucking creepy. It implies the existence of previous Bellas. She ain't the first smelly bitch to roll through and see that wall. You know what I mean? And he acts that way.
Yeah.
And it's gross. That's the only consistency to the character, is that he is a piece of shit.
He's convinced that Edward did have other Bellas.
Oh, for sure.
In the book
and
in the movie,
sure.
It suggested he did not. This is where it gets funny.
Oh, no. Yeah, that author's lying her nuts off. This motherfucker's he's been slick with it. He's had more than one Bella. You think this dude looking like that went to prom alone? You think he went to prom alone? Hold on. Where'd it go? Think this guy's going to fucking prom alone 100 times before he meets Bella? But no, the stinky bitch changed him. I doubt it. Dude, no. Hell no. Conspiracy. I call it conspiracy. He's had more than one Bella. This ain't the first time. It's the first one he's dropped seed in. Because he bites her at the end, they make her pull it out. The doctor's like, I don't have plan B on me. And why didn't you use a condom? Why did you bite her?
What?
Sorry, I'm kind of jumping forward. Yeah, at the end of the movie. Yeah. It's some nonsense. It's the worst. It's bad. It's a bad film. But it's not the first Bella. It's probably the first chick he's had to suck his own vampire venom out of.
Y'all, we haven't even gotten to Jacob yet.
Who?
Jacob, the indigenous girl.
Oh, I like the indigenous girl. She's sweet. She's nice to Bella. I thought that arc was cool. I don't know what the next movie's about, but it seems like it's probably about werewolves or something. And it seems like maybe, I don't know, older brother, the indigenous girl, is on the cover. So, like, I'm into it. The indigenous girl seems really sweet. I like that part of it. But the indigenous girl is in it for, like, no time at all. Like, skate right past that. So I've been really confused as to why
that's mainly because Jacob does not show up prominently in the books until the next book. The next movie.
Oh.
This one, yes, he is kind of a blip on your radar.
Yeah, other than it was a really sweet indigenous girl. I made note of that. I put it in my notes forever ago when we saw this movie. I was like, the indigenous girl's really sweet.
There's even like the trip that her and her friends take to his territory.
That's Bella's
beach trip.
Yeah, no, that's Bella's actual best friend right there, is the indigenous girl.
Wait, so they initially start officially dating and talking because Edward saves Bella from almost being assaulted by a group of dudes.
Yeah.
In an alley.
But no, I mean, I guess I should pull up a photo so people know who I'm talking about. The indigenous girl. She's so good in the first Twilight movies. She's sweet. She's Bella's only actual real friend, in my opinion. So, you know. I want to talk about the end of this movie.
Okay.
Because it's what makes me the most mad. It makes me so mad. Look, I've heard people talk about I've put off watching this movie for over a decade. And of course, I'm a grown-ass man. I'm a 30-year-old man watching this movie. I knew I wasn't going to like it.
We went into it knowing that you were not going to like it.
Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine the ending of that movie would play out the way it did.
Okay, so we're talking about specifically from the big fight scene through the end. Right?
I'm going to just run this. I'm going to go ahead and skate right over some stuff real quick in this review just for the sake of time.
I'm just trying to help everybody visualize where we're at.
But there's something so offensive at the end that the hella offensive 1920s weird baseball sequence that is the climax of the film for no reason that comes out of nowhere. Yeah. We'll put that off to the side because the end is so bad. The end of the climax of the film is Edward bites Bella and then sucks the vampire venom out, keeping her from turning into a vampire. Keep in mind, by the time Bella has been bitten by a vampire, she's been beat the fuck up. She's been balled up like some old homework and thrown in the corner of a warehouse or a museum or wherever the fuck this fight happened.
A ballet studio.
I don't even remember that. I don't remember that was okay.
It's nice.
I don't remember that being where that happened. Big empty gray room is how it felt. Yep. Like in the big final fight room. She's balled up in the corner of it. Vampire chewed her up, bit her, suck her shit, threw her in the corner. Right. Again, she all they got to do is give her some blood, right? I think, and then she can be a vampire and be immortal.
You gotta let the venom spread.
I hate that. That's right. It's
you
have to let it kill you, and then you come back. It's so stupid. There's vampires have venom now in this. They also have glitter skin, which I skated right past glitter skin because everyone talks shit on the glitter skin. Everybody, but he sucks the vampire venom out. Is applauded like he's some kind of fucking hero.
Because he didn't kill her. That was the point, was that he sucked the venom out. He didn't kill her. He didn't suck the rest of her blood out.
Didn't damn her to the dope lifestyle of a vampire he's been letting her into, knowing she can't do it forever like he can, because it's not his first Bella. He's done this multiple times to the point the family, quite frankly, seems tired of it. And so they're like, get her out of here. She can't be part of the club. Get your stinky broad out of here. Sucks the vampire blood out or venom out. And then takes her to prom. And she's in a boot. Because she got balled the fuck up. And she doesn't get the vampire hella super sweet recovery powers. So now this bitch just has pins and shit in her leg. And is at prom. With the worst vampire boyfriend in literary history. In literary history. I have never seen anything like it. And there's no words somebody could use to have gotten me ready for the end of that film. And never have I had it worded to me like this. Like, oh no, he cucks her out of becoming a vampire and then takes her to prom in a boot. He watches her get balled up. And she's right there at the precipice of not just healing quickly, but immortality.
I remember the moment when we were watching it, and he starts sucking the venom out. He goes, "What is he doing?" And I was like, "He's sucking the venom out." And then later, we get to the prom scene, and he goes, "You mean to tell me he took this bitch to prom in a boot when she could have been a vampire?"
They could have been flying around the prom, dancing in the sky, making love as bats or whatever. And no, said this is the story of a vampire, by the way. Vampire. They can be out in the sunlight, they're just sparkle boys. There's other things that violate it. They can eat animals and shit. They don't need human blood. I hate it. It's bad. trashes.
That's how they had to justify them living in Washington.
Yeah.
They can't be in the sun.
Yeah. She trashes the vampire mythology. And again, guys, I haven't seen the sequel
because
yet.
They sparkle.
I'm going to watch the sequel soon. So let's hope she doesn't mess with werewolves, because it seems like the next one's like moon flavored. So fingers crossed. We got to give this a letter grade. All right.
A through F.
I want your letter grade first.
It's definitely more of a D for me.
Yeah.
It's not quite an F.
Really?
It's not quite an F, because I will say that
they met the prompt?
I'm giving it points for meeting the prompt. It did its best with what it could out of the book. That's why it's a D.
I'm giving them a very, very curious D-. So let's average this film out to a solid D- then. Right?
Sure.
I'm sure everybody's seen this. We're doing a Twilight review, decade out of fashion, but it's a D-, guys. It's a D- and it's bad. Ugh!